Good morning, everybody,
This is Morning Announcements
with Millie.
and Mr. I.
Today is,
Thursday, June 4th.
did you know that today is National
Clean Beauty Day,
Old Maids Day?
Cheese Day,
American, Swiss, pepper jack?
I like Swiss.
I like pepper jack. And Safe Day. Happy birthday. We've got to say a big old happy birthday today to Miss Tess.
She's a paraeducator at our school. She shares her birthday with King George III. He's a former king of England.
Actor Noah Wiley.
Comedian and actor Russell Brand.
And actress Angelina Jolie.
This is Ray J with the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic to which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and living justice for all.
Thank you, Ray J. Did you notice there's a snowflake right above your head?
Daily quote, Keep Making New Mistakes by Esther Dyson.
This is one of my favorite quotes.
This is the sixth and final part of my interview with Paul Silvi. Enjoy. What are your expectations of Seattle's new hockey team?
Well, the way they do things now with Vegas, the last expansion team, I think they're going to be good. I think there's going to be a lot of good talent available. I think they'll have a good draft. They'll get players, supplemental draft. They'll pull players from other teams, so there'll be veterans on this team instead of just rookies. I think the way they do things now, as far as expansion goes, they give the expansion teams a fighting chance. So I think that their home is going to be state of the art. Their practice facility will be state of the art. I'm looking forward to them competing, and not only them competing, but I'm a Detroit guy and I'm a huge Red Wings fan. So to have the Red Wings come to Seattle once a season, or maybe even twice if I'm lucky, it's going to be pretty cool. That's must-see television. That's a must-see game for me for sure. So it's going to be cool to see all these teams I watched forever as a kid, because I was a huge hockey fan growing up in Michigan, watching them come through our city and being able to see them again and kind of, reignite my passion for hockey is going to be pretty cool.
Do you think that we'll see any Major League Baseball games this season?
I think you'll see a shortened version of it. I'm always the optimist when it comes to these leagues restarting. So there's some players are pushing back right now, but I think you'll see in some form some kind of a baseball season, maybe with half the games. The latest proposal was 82 games. So that might be what we see. But all I know is it's going to be great to see all of these leagues. We're seeing golf come back this weekend, and we're seeing NASCAR come back. We're seeing some of these leagues take baby steps, and I think they're all going to follow each other down that road, and we're going to get back to seeing sports again on television. So
yeah, hopefully. Yeah. Since we live in a small community, would you like to give any advice to the graduating class of 2020?
You know what? First of all, I'm a big Ocosta fan. I drive by there a lot. My mother-in-law used to live in Westport, so we would drive by there a lot, and I would take in just how small and quaint the school was, and the fact that everybody went to school in that one building. I just thought it's really cool to drive by there and say, I think there's a state championship sign out front, and you look at the year, and gosh, I can't even have 60s or 70s or something like that. It's just kind of cool to see all that. So I'm a big fan of your school, first of all. But a graduating class, I would say two things. Don't think you have to go to college right away. If you think you need to take a year off, take a year off, and just you've just gone through all your 12 years of schooling. Take a year off, take a step back, and see maybe what you really want to do, because it's a very expensive run if you go to college. I know, because there's student loans piling up all around me. I have 4 kids. 3 of them went to Central Washington, and there's a lot of debt involved in that. And 2 of them aren't even using their degrees, which is fine. So I would urge young graduates to rethink the college thing. And make sure you really want to go before you get saddled with all that debt. It's very expensive. And so rethink it. It's not automatic that you graduate and go to college. That's kind of an old way of thinking. Graduate, take some time to think. If you want to go off to school, go for it. But there's so many business or career opportunities in the trades now with electricians, plumbers, all of that. So there's a shortage of those. So if you take a year off, you can kind of see what you may want to do and maybe where there's a need for people to, for employees. So that's one of my recommendations for sure. But my other recommendation for graduates, as you get older in life, hold yourselves accountable. Don't, if you make a mistake, own up to it. If you make a mistake, learn from it and move on. You're going to be going in the work world. You're going to be the rookie. You're going to be a young worker. You're going to make mistakes. Don't repeat the mistakes. Learn from those mistakes and keep excelling in that field that you chose. But if you make a mistake, own it. It's fine. They're expecting you to make mistakes. They're also expecting you to learn from those mistakes. Please don't make excuses for yourself. Don't put it off on somebody else. Don't pass the buck, because they all, the people that you're passing the buck to, they kind of know it's your mistake to start with. Own it and say, and find the solution. Okay. There's a solution for every problem. Be that person that stands up and owns your mistake and move on. So hold yourself accountable in life. There's nothing wrong with it. You will become a better person, and you will be you'll have much stronger character. So that would be one thing I would definitely recommend and push on a graduate. Don't be afraid of making mistakes, and certainly learn from them. You'll be a much better person. Is that it?
Yep.
Well, I felt like I just, I really ran my mouth for a while there. I'm sorry. I thought this was going to be a 15-minute interview, and you probably didn't know I was going to go longer. So thanks for listening to me, and let me, kind of look back at my memories of life.
Yeah, it was fun. I liked it.
Well, thanks, Millie. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Millie. That interview with Paul was great. What did you like the most about interviewing him?
I like the sports a lot. That's what we mainly talked about. Crazy laws. Junk collectors beware. In Hartford, Connecticut, it's illegal to collect rags, paper, glass, old metal, junk, cinders, or other waste matter in the city without a license. That's a strange law.
That is.
This is Grayson with the weather.
Hello and welcome to today's morning announcement. I'm your host of today's Ocosta News Weather, Grayson Bearden. But first, let's go over yesterday's weather. As you can see, we had some nice, but somewhat breezy weather yesterday. Our high was around 57 degrees and our lows around 49. I hope you're able to get out and enjoy the day. And now back to me in the studio. Thank you, me, for that recap of yesterday's weather. And now for today's. It looks like it will be a nice day. Our high is going to be around 60 degrees and our low will be around 49 degrees. We are forecasted to have sunshine and clouds with a 20% chance of rain. Our winds will be from the west-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Our sunrise at 5:23 a.m. and our sunset will be at 9:06 p.m. Our low tides are at 6:14 a.m. and 6:08 p.m. Our high tide is at 12:52 p.m. And that's all for today's edition of Ocosta News Weather for the Thursday, June 4th morning announcements. Hopefully you can get outside today and enjoy the outdoors. Thank you, stay safe, and have a great day.
Thank you, Grayson. Where's Dubs? Dubs has been out and about in our communities having its picture taken. Can you guess where Dubs was in this picture?
Stay tuned to the end to find the answer. This is Healthcare and Self-Care with Madisyn.
Oh, good morning, Wildcats. Welcome to Self-Care and Healthcare. Today I'm going to be talking about screen time. Did you know that as an elementary age student, we are only supposed to have 2 hours of screen time per day? Oh, I might need to work on that a little bit. Some bad things about too much screen time. We aren't learning how to have face-to-face interactions. We aren't having enough family time, outdoor play, or exercise. And most importantly, screen time can navigately affect our sleep. In fact, it's recommended that we have to have no screen time after 6:30 to help us sleep better. I also need to work on that. Video games, scary shows, or even intense conversations engage our brains to make our body release adrenaline. It's a hormone that makes you excited and wide awake. Also, light from electronics trick your body into thinking it's still daytime, making it harder to fall asleep. For more information, go to American Association of Pediatrics. Now, on to the shout-outs. Oh, let's do my first shout-out. We have multiple this today. I'd like to shout out Shannon Johnson, She's an Ocosta graduate from the class of 1998. And Shannon is the director of the critical care unit at Grays Harbor Community Hospital and has been a nurse for 10 years. And let's go to the second shout out. We're going to recognize Sean Sweeney. Sean Sweeney is not an Ocosta graduate. However, his wife, Mrs. Sweeney, has been a teacher at Ocosta Elementary School for 29 years. That's a lot. And all 3 of their daughters are Ocosta graduates. Sean is an RN in the operating room at Grays Harbor Community Hospital and has been a nurse for 27 years. Thank you, Shannon and Sean, for your hard work. And for the third shout out, I'd like to shout out Karen Marini. Karen has been a nurse for 15 years. She works in the quality department and the critical care unit at the Grays Harbor Community Hospital, located in Aberdeen, Washington. Karen is the mom of Ellie and Oscar Marini. Thank you, Karen.
Thanks, Madisyn. It's great to see another report from you.
This is another shout to all the Acosta families. Thank you. If you'd like to contact us with new ideas, here are emails below. Thank you for watching our morning announcements. And don't forget, Dubs was at the Tokeland Docks. See you next time on Acosta News.
And remember, be a good kid. Do the right thing.
See ya.
See ya. Yeah, you have some videos to watch. I bet you haven't watched them yet.
I have. I watched 2 of them.
Nice.
And I checked out one of his websites. Look at me now, Mr. I. No, I'm kidding. I'm not that sad.
I guess I got told again.